So you want to sing high notes? Well, let's break it down. There are three basic sections to the voice. There's chest voice. And the rocket's red glare. Think big, strong, meaty. The kind of voice that most of us speak with. Then we have head voice. This high voice up here. We tend to think of it as like a sound commonly attributed to classical sopranos. Una voce poco fa. Or R&B and pop ad-lib stylings. Cry me, light and fluty. But pull too much chest voice up into the upper range and it can sound like yelling. Ah! Veins come out, tones go flat, and all that pressure can lead to permanent vocal damage. Not fun. Conversely, if we use too much head voice on a high note, it can sometimes sound weak and lacking in intensity. Hello, 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 hello. Not quite the same, right? The solution to this dilemma is in the third register, mixed voice. If we think of chest voice as all black, ah, and head voice as all white, ah, mixed voice encompasses the shades of gray in between, ah, giving us a solid connection instead of a flip or an yell. What I'm going to do now is take you through a very simple exercise that will help you discover your mixed voice register. We're going to use the syllable goog, G-O-O-G. Goog is going to help our chords to close and help us to control our breath flow as we go higher up into our range. We're going to start low. I always get a lot of flack that I don't give the bass baritone voices enough attention, so we're starting down here. If you're comfortable starting down here, then join in. If we go up to a place where it's too high and you start to feel choked or strained, then drop out. We don't push or force our way through. We release into the range. The notes that we attain gradually are notes that will stay and notes that will grow. But notes that we have to force will not only halt our range progress, but they may also diminish our range in the long run. Okay? It'll sound something like this. Goog, 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 goog. Then, as we go up higher, let's say here. This E flat is where the average male voice will typically begin to feel that pressure and that need to transition. So, wrong is goog, 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 belting it out with all of your might. Also, what's equally wrong, goog, 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 anticipating it and letting your voice flip into a weak detached falsetto or weak detached head voice. Goog, 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 goog. We don't want any of that. What we do want is if we keep the volume the same, using a speaking voice volume, a clear, solid speaking voice, about what I'm using now. Notice I'm not talking softly, but I'm not yelling either. I'm just talking at a comfortable conversational speaking volume. Goog, 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 goog. And I naturally find that middle place. Goog, 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 goog. I have a little bit of that bottom from chest and have just enough head voice crossover to allow me to find that middle. Same thing here. Whoops, here. On the F. Not good, 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 good. No, there shouldn't be any volume increase as we go up. Not for these scales. We're practicing balancing out our registers so that we have more control. Remember, through freedom comes the power. When we don't want good, 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 good. No. Yeah, that's the right note. And is it unhealthy? Not necessarily, but it won't help you develop that power that you want. So what you do, keep the volume the same, don't anticipate the high note, let the goog do the work. It'll help you find that place. It'll feel a little weird, like you're teetering in between registers, and that's because you are. The coordination of singing in your mixed voice can take time to get used to because it can feel like you're balancing and not quite able to find your balance at first, but the more you practice it every day, it'll feel less like teetering and more like balance. So, goog, 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 goog. See? Then as you get more comfortable, goog, 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 goog. You can start gradually adding on more chesty power to it. Okay? So, same thing for the ladies. obviously, I'm a man, so my bridges are not at the same place as a female voice. But what I can do is tell you where your bridges are, typically. And that's around A and B flat. So, make sure you're not and belting it out or squeezing or feeling any kind of pinch there. Keep your volume the same. Same thing as I demonstrated for the guys. It's the same principle. It's just that it happens at a different note. Or it might happen here. Same principle, just different note. Don't try to spread it or anything. Keep your mouth narrow with these ooh lips and let the sound transition. Let the gug do the work. Make sure you have a G at the beginning and at the end. Gug, gug, gug. Don't let it turn into guh or goo or any other thing. It's just gug, 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 gug. All right. Let's go straight through, starting here, starting with the low voices, and gug, 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 gug. Ladies, join in. Now, if you're a male voice and you're straining right now, then you're doing it wrong, obviously. So, if you're getting a good, 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 pull back on the volume, even if it sounds weak or wimpy. Our sole purpose right now is just simply connecting. Once we get connecting, good, 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 good. Even if it's light like that, we can gradually add on the power like I showed you earlier. As you get more comfortable, you can gradually add more intensity to the sound and more chestiness to the sound. It's like mixing paint, remember? So this is a lighter gray. Good, 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 good. That's a lighter gray, closer towards the white side, closer towards the head voice side. But if I want a darker gray, closer towards the black chestiness, good, 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 good. You see, gradually I'm adding it on. That's what you do as you get more comfortable. So, for just this first week, you might keep it light. And then the next week, you might add a little more power. And I know I'm taking a lot of time to explain this right now, and some of you might be like, could you please get on with the scale? But it's very important to take note of this because this applies for no matter what voice type you are, wherever you blend. You may not blend on this F. You may blend at a B or at a A. But wherever you blend, it's okay if you blend lightly, as long as you're blending and not flipping into it. As long as you're not getting as long as you're not disconnecting into a random other voice or getting that yodel kind of break. As long as you're not getting that. Okay? Let's continue. If it's too high, drop out. Ladies, you're experiencing a bridge part up here, I'm sure. Most of you by now, if you haven't experienced it a little sooner. On that high note, pull back on the pressure. Everybody relax your stomach muscles. Don't tighten up your stomach. Tight abs will really make connecting your voice 10 times harder. Let the abs go. Close your eyes, put a hand on the stomach. Consciously let go. Let go. Even though you're going, your stomach is going gradually in. It's not going, it's not bouncing. Your stomach is not bouncing with each gug. Let it gradually go in. Okay? Again. Yes, I I said, it's female voices, and yes, I'm playing up higher, but if this feels uncomfortable and you happen to be a female, it does not matter. Just drop out. Your voice is just not there yet. It doesn't mean that it won't be. At this present moment, you need to just chill, wait for me to come back down. Another thing worth pointing out here, make sure that you're not falling into this trap, where you go up fine and then pull head voice back down. A lot of people start doing that on the way back down. Make sure that you come back down the same way that you came up. Alright? Don't reach. Just talk out the goog. You're not singing it. You're not trying hard to sing it. You're not doing a goog, 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 goog. You're not trying to sing it. Don't overly do it. Just speak it out. We're just trying to strengthen the chords and get you used to the coordination. We can stylize it later. Goog, 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 goog. Excellent. Remember, if it goes too high for you, if you're feeling like you're squeezing, pushing, first troubleshoot. Am I tightening my stomach? Am I reaching? Am I bringing too much chest voice weight up? You might just need to pull back on the volume one notch. Goog, 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 and connect versus goog, 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 or goog. Instead of that flip, pull back on the volume. Make sure your stomach muscles are relaxed. Make sure you're not reaching up and tightening or anticipating that high note. Just imagine you're talking it out. Don't judge your sound right now. We're just trying to find that middle place. We can shape it and stylize it later. Right now we're just trying to get that raw sound out, trying to get that raw strength. Okay? Now we covered a lot in this video, but obviously there's a lot more to singing high notes than what we did here. These were just the basics, important basics, but basics. If you want more, then check out part 2 of how to sing high notes at blog.aapproach.com. I hope to see you there.